What's good? This is Elton Anderson Jr., aka Detroit Chopra, and I'm here live and direct in Bali. So, I'm from the Midwest, born and raised in Detroit, and I always got love for my people from the Midwest. But today we got, somebody who I'm just so honored and humbled to have on here. He's representing Chicago, but this man is so worldwide. He's have people rocking his music, his insights, his vibe, his energy all over the world. So y'all gonna get to know him through my eyes because I'm excited about getting to know him even more. So without further ado, I got the one, the only Mr. Mike Flow.
Peace, 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 peace.
What's good, brother?
What up, though?
Yo, I wish y'all could see it. If y'all just listening, we out here burning the sage. It's a Wednesday in Bali.
Right.
We just vibing.
Winning.
It is always a vibe, man. So, Mike, I'm going to just start off, bro. I mean, the way I was introduced to you, to be honest, was this past Saturday. And amongst so many other things, bro, you are the dopest DJ I've ever
I appreciate that, man.
experienced, man. And
I appreciate that.
Because I want to get into that. And guys, I got to tell y'all a story because, we decided to go party at Savaya at a party called Disco Africa, right?
Right.
This was my first time out there at that party. And, me and my boys, we was vibing. It was a lot of good opportunities
things
out there.
A lot of things. Yeah.
And these are my boys' first time at this particular party. And it was a point where the music was going, and then you did a transition, Mike. That transition touched my soul.
I wonder which one.
It was to the point where I wanted to go and find like a phone or a Spotify recording because we couldn't even have the phones in there.
Right.
But it was in that moment that you touched my soul. This dude look at us and point at the crew.
Yeah, I seen it.
So man, that was just a powerful moment, and that's why I say it's so amazing to have you on here right now, bro. Like, how did you even get into music? Like, cause it's deeper than just DJing, man. This is like energy, man.
I mean, I'm a sound boy, man, original. You know what I mean? My mom gave me the tools early on with vinyl and stuff, and having vinyl in the house at an early age. And then I just always been around music. And so from playing vinyl to playing clarinet, and I wanted to move to saxophone. Yeah, I was a band geek for a hot second. When I left the band because I wanted to play saxophone, and the band director wanted me to play bass clarinet, and that ain't really what I wanted to play. So I stopped playing. I started hooping. But I always been around music. I consider myself as an MC. I consider myself a rapper's rapper. You know what I mean? As a DJ, I consider myself a DJ's DJ. So yeah, that's just my thing.
I want to get into that because I kind of get what you're saying. It's like you have so much. When you say you're a rapper's rapper or a DJ's DJ, is it because you have so much deference for the art itself, as well as technically you know what you're doing, but you?
Yeah, I think great question. I think it's a little bit of both because one, I think the courage. So along with the skill, I mean, you need the skill, but the prerequisite to the skill, often in my observation, is the courage to do the shit. You know what I mean? Like, there's some DJs that'll roll up to a party, they roll up in their Jeep playing some other shit, and it's dope. And then they get into the party, and then they dumb you down because they underestimate what they think, you vibe to, or what's gonna keep you buying drinks or, circulating in there. So they dumb it down. They give you a top 8 at 8, says Clear Channel Radio. You know what I'm saying?
Little billboard.
And and a lot of that is that, it's like a lot of the DJs want immediate gratification. They want to feel like they're killing it. So they're going to give you some songs that are already proven that you probably will like or have heard or are used to or whatever, then so they feel good because they feel like they're killing it. You're dancing. You feel like they're killing it because you're hearing what you was just hearing at home or in the car on the way to the party.
Yep.
But the DJs,
okay, all right,
are the ones that aren't afraid to play you that shit that they was playing in a Jeep when they rolled up. That's the thing. The courage to do it, and the courage to know that every song is not going to be everyone's favorite. The courage to read the crowd, the courage to not have any premeditated sets, the courage to really challenge yourself and free that shit up. And that's a microcosm to this life, moreover.
bro. You know that is exactly how I felt, because it was you said it at another interview you had. You said, I play for myself.
Absolutely.
And that's what I told my homeboys. I was like, I have never heard a DJ play music for the black boys. Like,
Absolutely.
I never in my life, bro. Never in my life. They usually playing for the girls.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They playing for the venue they're playing at, or we in Vegas, you gonna play Vegas,
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
Nah.
I have never, I was like, this nigga is playing music for me. Absolutely.
Because I see myself in you. And I know the politics of gatherings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I understand the rules of engagement. So I know that certain people are the dancers, they're gonna dance regardless.
Yeah.
They come to dance. They laid the outfit out, they gonna have the drinks, they met up with their people. It don't really matter. Okay, they're the staple, right? But that's easy. You know what I'm saying? It is, can you get into the people who don't feel like they gotta clap for you? Can you make them feel like they gotta clap? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then the other people, they're just cattle anyway. So they're waiting for the cool kids to respond. You know what I mean? And then they'll respond. So there are times where I might be in a scene, I may be playing, and it may be just a certain number of hardcore dancers. I might just play for them, right? They fucking with me, I'm fucking with them. I might just play for them. But then there are times where I know I got them already.
Yeah.
And then I can reach out and get into somebody who's having a drink, talking to a young lady or something, and then they like, wait a minute. And now the two of them are dancing. So I strive to do that. But but that's why it's important for me to be present, for me to be able to read the room, to be able to watch and see that group of dudes over there, like, they fuck with this right here. Oh, okay, they want some real nigga shit. Okay, I do too. So, like, let me go with them. Okay, I got them. Okay, now I can bring them some places where they might not be familiar. They already in. I got them. And I'm interested in that. It's like it's a social experiment for me.
That is, and I'll tell you, like, the honest truth, like, it's amazing hearing you say this and describing this, because I have so much love and respect for DJs. And I think the moment you got me was actually through your authenticity.
Yeah.
It was the most authentic display I've ever seen. I have a lot of friends who are DJs, and I get what you're saying. They play to the room. Yeah. But I felt like we was in your living room, and you was like, y'all ain't ready for this shit. Like, that's how I felt. And I'm like, I'm in Bali on shrooms, out here lit,
winning.
And I've never experienced anything like that, man. I do want to get into authenticity with you, because we're not going to deny that, your tattoos and your style and your eloquence, bro. You're one of the most eloquent people I've heard speak.
I appreciate that.
So we're going to dive into that. I mean, I was saying his voice sound like butter. He's just over here just doing that, man. So I want to get into, like, all of you, bro. Like, I want to understand this authenticity. And we can start from the outside in, inside out, wherever you want to go with it, man.
I think the key to my authenticity is, being mindful of mindlessness. And and just turning my brain off and just really this may sound colloquial, but just going with a certain flow and whatever the ebbs and tides and the highs and the lows and the in-betweens of all that brings. I never fight that.
But you seem like you create the flow. That's the thing. Like, that's the thing. It seems like you happen to the world.
Yeah. You know, I see what you're saying with that. I may create it for others, but in order for me to create it, I'm letting you know how what the catalysts are for me in order to create for myself in the world. You know, there is, and that's a great point you mentioned, because there's I believe that there's a European construct that says that energy cannot be created nor destroyed, just transferred, right? But I believe that energy is created all the time. Now, what creating is, that word can be thrown around in semantics or whatever. But for me, man, it's just, I go with the seasons and my reasons throughout the day, and I'm authentic in that. Okay. And so when I don't feel like smiling, I don't smile. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So and
that's as simple as that sounds.
You know,
because we think like, if we're in an elevator full of white people or whatever it is, you have to be the you don't. But you don't have that opportunity with all these tattoos. Like,
I mean, listen, man.
My bro got tattoos on the face.
When, for instance, there are days where I feel like a silverback gorilla. Okay. And then there are days where I feel like a hummingbird, you know, and everything in between. I'm just authentic in that.
Wow.
And other people can resonate in that because, like, for instance, I be riding around. I'm in New York. I don't wear a mask for this. I don't even say the word.
Right.
Okay.
I know exactly what you mean.
Right. I do my thing. My thing is, motherfuckers can do whatever they want. Just don't be trying to mandate me. All right, you live by that code, right? Yeah. But I may be, and I'm in tune. You know what I mean? So I may be on the train, and there may be some people that are looking at me like, look at this guy. This guy's reckless. This guy doesn't care. He's disrespectful. He's not a patriot, right? And then I see other people. This is all through, you know, the eyes, right? The windows, right? There may be other people that are like, gosh, I don't want to wear mine either.
Yeah.
And this guy doesn't look he looks like I could see myself in him. He doesn't look too crazy. Like he doesn't look infected per se. Yeah. You know, man, maybe I could take mine off. Now that's a microcosm of a whole. But, you know, when I'm my authentic self, I see that in other people and wanting to indulge in that within themselves. And sometimes seeing me may give them a boost, serve as an affirmation, or ignite the courage within them in however little morsels or bigger ways that they want to ignite that fire within themselves. So when I'm in the DJ booth, man, if I'm playing, like the other night, I was playing some South African shit, right? For a minute.
Yes.
Some dirty South African shit. And when I hear the bass tones, it don't make me smile necessarily. I got a screw face, right? So there are times when I'm walking around and I feel like that. Or times when I'm on my bike and I feel like that. I never strive to perpetuate anything that I am not currently and innately and indigenously feeling within myself. And that's where the authenticity comes. So I don't want to get a tattoo on my fucking face. I'm not, if the thought says that I should carry that out, or beyond the thought, if my gut, my intestinal fortitude says today is the day for that, then I roll with that, instead of, when I say being mindful of being mindless, instead of negotiating and navigating the reasons why I maybe should or should not and all of that. And so I just stay true to myself, and then other people see that and they fuck with it, and the ones who don't fuck with it, I don't take that personal, because it ain't for them no way. Check.
That's it. That's the word right there, guys. No, bro. And man, That is so powerful because growing up in Detroit, and for me personally, I was I've always known I was gay, so I had to like hide that and then hide all these other parts of myself. And I struggle with authenticity. And so you're right. When I do see somebody who's just like, not even fuck the world, it's just like, I can't do anything but be myself.
Right.
It's a learning. It's like you're a teacher for me. And
I say.
Yeah, it's like just being yourself is a teacher for so many people. And so as I go on my authenticity journey, I've been vulnerable. I guess that's my window into my soul. And it's been helping people. People call me crying because they've never seen a black man cry. And you know, that's powerful. So it is it's just refreshing to see people be themselves, and like authenticity is not only contagious, but people want to see it. Like
absolutely,
it is like you authentic on Instagram, like the place where people filter their fucking lives up. Right. Not just their face, their whole lives. They filter everything. Right. And you hit it with a little bit of authenticity, you activating the grid, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you know, listen, man, we are all impressionable to a certain degree. You know what I mean? I know how to piss in the toilet because somebody taught me. Right? Right. Now, as you know, humans inspire and activate certain feelings and emotions within each other. I mean, like, I remember some years back, I think it was I was watching the VMAs and I saw Kanye West with some skinny jeans on, right? And this is a day where I was like, I was probably wearing a fucking 34 inseam nigga, a size 36 waist,
a Jabot,
brand X Jabots, you know, from the crib, man, from the shop. So, but I was like, man, I would never wear those jeans, right? And then I started thinking, I was investigating myself and saying that. I was like, but wait, when I was in 7th grade, my mom was tapering my pants for me. Essentially, those were skinny jeans. I was like, nah, that really ain't for me. Fast forward, once pop culture, this is an example, pop culture caught on to, you know, trends that black people create and share to the world, right?
Let's talk about it.
And so now if you want some jeans, for example, in that time, then it was like, well, that's what you got to get. You want jeans, then they might be skinny. You get the skinny jeans. And then I had like 5 pairs of skinny jeans, right? So the point I'm making is, you know, I was vulnerable, right? I was impressionable. And even when I resisted a certain urge, maybe, I was able to let my own guard down, see the strength in my vulnerability, and get fresh. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what I did. So people need to see other people, quote unquote, taking chances, right? Or living and embodying in their true, authentic selves. Because when I saw him wearing those jeans, after I got over my own ignorance and ego, and once I tapped into what my core emotions were with that and was able to sort through those, then I was inspired by the style.
And that's, yes, and you passed it on. Like, you passed on that authenticity, that inspiration on to other people.
Absolutely.
And it's interesting because I remember you saying you were Sagittarius, right?
Yeah.
With a Capricorn moon and a Capricorn rising?
Hardcore.
Woo! Woo! And what would you say is the most Sagittarius thing about you? Because I've never met a Sag like you. What day is your birthday?
December 6th.
Yo, I've never met a Sag like you. A lot of the Sages I know tend to hide a lot of who they are. Like, I got a lot of close friends.
They pose.
Yeah. I've never, like, I think you're like the evolved Sagittarius.
That's a good point. I think that has come in experience and age. I mean, and age is often not the precursor to experience, right? But sometimes they go hand in hand. I think in my earlier Sagittarian life, I was, I was maybe more concerned with feeling correct. As I've gotten older and more experienced, I find that it's more important for me to be wise rather than feel correct.
What's the difference with that?
So like when I'm just in being more, the difference is in being more and feeling just more self-determined and not easily triggered, buttons not easily pushed. And so someone else could have a polar opposite view. And however they express that too, they can be upset, they can be calm, whatever. They can be the antithesis of how I feel. But there was a time where I may have been concerned with either trying to convince them of what I thought the way was, or chop down whatever they were saying because I categorically disagreed with it. But now, that was the argumentative, the fire.
The fire, yeah.
Right? And the Sag.
And the Cap is the bossy.
Yeah, the straight ahead business, right?
Yeah.
And so now
Damn, fire and business.
yeah. So now my thing, which can make me very shrewd, right?
Yeah.
But now my thing is you can feel however you want to feel. In the martial arts, I used to practice a African martial art, Egbe Ogun. And
shout out. My boy was telling me about that.
yeah, it's a full system from the ground to the clinch, weapons. And this is a statement throughout all the martial arts. If someone is punching or kicking over here, and I'm standing right here, I don't feel the need to go over there and block their punches or kicks, because their kicks or punches are nowhere close to threatening me. And that's kind of how I live it out here. So motherfucker could feel, think, say whatever the fuck they want to do. Like, hey, what the fuck you gonna do to me? You can't do shit to me. So I'm cool, because I know even if I feel like I'm right, if I allow too much of that fire, Sag, if I allow too much of that fire to burn, I'm gonna burn up the whole hillside. And I may feel right, but I'm gonna be stressed. And it's important that I don't feel that stress. So I let that shit go.
It's interesting you brought up the martial arts, because when you think of like fighting, you either think in terms of defense or offense. And that's how people live their lives. People are so defensive, like always just like, oh man, what you mean by that? That's such a defensive thing to say. And then you have people that go to offense, where they're like, let me attack everybody else because I got war within myself.
Right.
And you don't give me that energy, bro. Like, you give me the flowiest energy. How did martial arts help you with that? Did life help you with that time? Like, what helped you find the need not to be defensive or offended? I
think martial arts did help with that, and also being martial arts helped affirm that. But growing and being a parent.
You was a young parent too, right?
Yeah, I was a young parent. Yeah, I mean, like 22 years old. My children are not children anymore, and they're not mine. They belong to the universe. But my son, Garvey is his name. He's 21, and Peely is 19. But in the martial arts, the most powerful step is known as the feminine step. The feminine step allows you to take a step back, so an assailant can overexpose themselves, and they can, like, motherfucker swinging at you. You take a step back, they overexpose themselves. They give you their back. They expose themselves. Now you choke them out. You know what I'm saying?
So it's like you letting somebody make the first move. You're playing the mental game before you play the physical game at any point.
I'm protecting my energy and myself, and I am looking at at ways in which I can be effective and the most efficient. It's like Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather wins fights not because he throws the most punches. He wins the fights because he's a supreme counter puncher. So whatever you do will become a strength for him. But he has to be patient in that. He has to be, although there's only a certain number of minutes in the round, there are only so many rounds in the fight, he has to be patient, and he's patient because he is confident in his skill. He knows that you can't hit him. But every now and then, he can hit you.
Yeah.
And at the end of the fight, he wins because he hit you more than he got hit. You know what I'm saying? And so that helps. But as a parent, seeing yourself in your children and knowing how you would have liked to be parented or how you would have liked to be talked to or communicated with allows me to see the individuality within the person and treat them with the respect that they deserve and the uniqueness that they deserve. I can say some shit to my son that I might not be able to say to my daughter, and vice versa. So it keeps me open. It keeps me honest with myself. So I don't feel like I have to be on the offense. I don't feel like I have to defend anything. I don't even worry. I focus on the results. So if I want parenting, if I want the dishes washed, right?
Okay. All right.
And I could go on the offense, right, and say, hey, I'm about to leave. When I get home, have these dishes washed, right? That's how my mom should talk to me.
Of course.
Right?
Got it.
On the offense, right? Or I could complain and cry about how hard I work and I need you guys to help and pitch in and
Yeah.
I could woe is me, right?
Be the victim.
I could be the victim, right? I could take the defense, right? But I say, one, I want the dishes washed.
Okay.
Now my daughter, she's a Libra. She's into fairness. Her highs are high, lows can be low. I know that she's been gone out the house. She's been at dance. She didn't make these dishes. If I ask her, if I try to get her to wash the dishes, do I feel like navigating this whole fairness trip, right?
Yeah.
Because remember, I want the dishes washed, period, right?
Right.
So there's a way, but if I say my son's not home, say I don't feel like fucking washing them. I can say, hey, Peely.
What's his sign?
He's a Sag too.
Oof.
I can say, Peely, if you don't mind, when you get a minute, do me a favor and wash some of those dishes so that I can make dinner. Because she likes to eat.
Got it.
So I can say, she thinks, okay, what are we going to eat? This nigga's going to make some shit I probably like. Let me just wash these dishes so I can eat. Now,
I like that
I'm going to
strategy.
eat anyway, but I want the dishes washed. And so, the point and all that, and I know I'm being windy about that.
No, I like this.
But the point is being results driven. And as long as you are results driven, the instance, will be different and you can adapt. So sometimes it takes being offensive. Sometimes you have to go and counter on the defense. You know what I'm saying? But you have to be open to what the situation requires and not so stern in who you think you are in order to get the shit done.
Bro, no, that's a lesson, man. That's like the tactical way to parent to get shit done.
To get shit done.
And I see when I talk to you, the more I talk to you, I feel like everything can be a microcosm of life.
Absolutely.
Like everything, like every interaction is a lesson. Every decision you make it can be broken down to macro. You can take any macro thing and break it down to the micro.
Yeah.
I do want to tackle on the super. I don't know if you look at it micro or macro, but I want to talk about the journey within now, because I've been on my spiritual shit. That's why we got the Detroit and the Chopra.
I love it. Great
side
name
by
too.
side.
I love
Appreciate
it.
it. Shout out to
Yeah.
my homeboy Dwayne for calling me that one day.
Mm-hmm.
What does I'm always interested in understanding what people's spiritual journeys and spiritual awakenings look like. Because I can already tell you on it. I can already tell he's tapped in, y'all.
Yeah. What does it look like for me?
Yeah, when did it start? What, and more importantly, like, how does it affect your philosophy? Because I give you, for instance, like, I used to be a photographer and hosted a travel show, and I was like, yo, this is lit, you know?
Right.
I'm in a 3D world. I'm getting the ego fed. I'm just, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
thirst traps, getting little DMs. You know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then now I've had to separate myself from what I did because I identified so much with it. And now I'm exploring things like starting a podcast, YouTube channel, coaching others.
Yes.
And I'm just curious, like, were you able to fit the things that you identified with kind of within your spiritual journey, or like did they merge? Did they grow?
Yeah, I look at my, and I'm glad you say journey, because it is a journey. It's not a destination. You know, the African world, the indigenous world said there is no beginning and there is no end, right?
At all.
Right. But I think for me, it's about an activation, a return, per se. And I think that happened along the way, because all the things help you. You know, even like they say, if you were to become a record, a star, you got a recording artist or whatever, and they say everyone looks to be an overnight success has been doing it 10, 15 years already. So even when I go into a particular moment that may have changed my life, all the moments leading up to that played an intricate part also, right? Yeah. But I think for me, when I was 19 years old, I was privy to a set of great black men that I got an opportunity to see speak live and in person. And I think it kind of activated a knowledge base for me. And so my spiritual awakening came through an affirmation. It gave me some answers to questions I didn't even know I had. You know, it gave me the answers as to why I was buying cigarettes for my mom with food stamps at the corner store.
Right.
It allowed me to see myself as a global citizen. It allowed me to feel at the same time very, very small, but huge in the same breath. And so through the knowledge of myself, through the knowledge of self in this journey, has allowed me to the game is kind of slowed down. Yeah. It's like an athlete, you know, if you've been playing ball your whole life, you've been doing anything for a long time, you become better at it, right? And now, you know, or Tom Brady drops back to pass, and although he's got 2.5 seconds to get rid of the ball, he can scan, he can go through his reads in milliseconds, and the game kind of slows down, although it's fast. Yeah. And so that kind of, at 45 years old, that's kind of what has happened with me. The game is kind of slowed down, and I'm able to go through my reads. I'm able to know what my skill set is. I know what my strengths are. I know what my weaknesses are. I strengthen my strengths as well as my weaknesses. And at the end of the day, knowing that there is no weakness per se, like there is no failure. It's just an experience. And so I don't put that type of pressure on myself. And I know that we talk about the microcosms. I am every minute of the second. I choose my words poignantly. I breathe deep. I take my time. And I really live in my moments. And that allows me to be open to the multitude of things that this universe has to show me all the time. I learn from some of the seemingly smallest shits. I bird watch and shit. You know what I'm saying? I've watched birds build nests. Okay?
That shit is fascinating.
It's fascinating. When I take I had a house in Atlanta. It was like 7 species of birds in one big ass tree in front of my crib. And I used to sit on the porch, smoke joints, and watch the birds, right?
I watch that all day.
I watched them take branches and little sticks and build their nests. And I see the self-determination. I see the patience. I see the attention to detail. I see the results driven. And so everything in this human world for me that may seem complicated or whatever, I know is very, very simple, because we're mammals. So I don't get too caught up in this human shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you go into the jungles, the fucking monkeys are eating when they need to eat, and they're sleeping when they need to sleep, and the rest of the time, man, they be playing around and kicking it. Right?
That's what life.
And that's what this shit is. So I just listen to that, and going back to the courage, oftentimes the simple shit like that takes courage. Because someone's going to say you're irresponsible.
Right.
You're idealistic. You're not real. What world are you in? You think you deep. Whatever the fuck they will spew, which is only a manifestation of their own fears, which ain't for me to sort through.
Yeah, I mean, and I wanna not stop you there.
Come on, we building.
But with you being from Detroit, I mean, you being from Chicago and me being from Detroit,
right? We
both know people that have never left.
Totally.
Even in our families.
My brother.
Right. Yeah.
He ain't left.
And
shout out to him.
Shout out to the people that hold down our hometown.
Yeah, because somebody got to do that.
And
you know what I'm saying?
And how has travel been like expansive in this?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How has that been for you?
Another affirmation, because as big as this world is, I realize it's very small. And what I mean by that is some of the core values and things that move me in this big old world, it doesn't take long for me to spot alikes.
Yep. Yeah.
So, what was that Savai I was playing? Was it 3,000 people there? Some shit, I don't know. It was huge.
It was huge.
And I can tap in and see alikes right away. So as big as this world is, I'm reminded of how small the circles are. The older I get, or the more experienced I become, my circles become more and more small. I can see certain things before I have to go through the experience to figure out if that's for me or not. I've been a lot better at that discernment. But yeah, going through the world, I've been blessed, man. Through most of my travels with Dead Prez, I've been able to go to 6 continents. I've been to probably 40, 45 countries, and a gang of cities in between, right? And I can see myself in somebody or group of somebodies everywhere I go.
Easily.
So it helps affirm and lets you know, maybe you ain't that crazy, or yeah, they like that shit too. Like, you know what I mean? Certain shit just resounds worldwide, and it's affirming. It's great to see, whether that be poverty, whether that be wealth, love,
anything. It's all, and I love that word. Affirming affirmations has become my favorite word, because what it really means, when I really think about it, all of affirmation is, all of this affirming is your own intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you already know what you want
Right.
out of life. You already
Right.
know the feelings that you want to feel.
Right.
And a lot of times I think people want things because they see other people with those things, but you don't want that thing. You want that feeling.
Oh my! I say it all the time. That's a great point, Elton. I mean, like,
Yeah, that's it.
yo, bro. I say this all the time. I'm so happy you touched on that. It's the feeling. I have a song on my current album called The Equinox.
Oh, shit.
And
Okay.
and it's called The Feeling. And basically, you know, it speaks about being able to supersede the things.
Yes.
And to get into the feeling. People want to make billions of dollars because they want to be happy, right? They want to make the money to afford the things that ideally should bring them this idea of happiness. But we all know that there are fucking billionaires that are stressed out, they're going suicide, divorce,
escape through drugs,
all types of shit, right? So we all know in our conscious minds that the money doesn't bring the happiness, right? But someone will say, okay, well, fine, right? And going back to courage, someone will say, well, you know, I want to be a beachcomber, right? And they say, well, shit, then that means you got to make the money so that you can afford the plane trip and so that you can do all of this, right? And the reason that they approach it from that is because they're saying that you need the money to do that because they can't fathom leaving a certain life alone. So they feel like you have to live this life. And in order to do that other shit you want to do, you're going to need to be able to afford both. But the person that says, I don't even need that, whether that be friendships, whether that be restaurants that I like to frequent or whatever, or expectations that other people have of me, that person that says, I got a carry-on luggage and I'm going to the beach to be a beachcomber. That person doesn't need all of those things.
Nothing.
They need the 401k, you know. So, but it's the courage to say, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm a student of the universe. I'm gonna submit to the universe, and whatever happens, I'm gonna be with it, and I'm protected, and I feel good, and I'm rolling with it. That's a courageous act nowadays.
It is, and I mean that's kind of what I did. I didn't even have the desire to be the beachcomber. I wanted to find myself, and I think that when you talk about courage, because that is. Have you ever read this book called Power versus Force?
No, I know of that, but I didn't read it. But
that's the book.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Maybe I'll read it.
Yeah, by David Hawkins. And it was, for me, it was like a Bible, because the first emotion, the first vibration, because that's what our emotions are. They're just signals to the universe. The first vibration that is in the power, because everything else is force, like fear, anger, shame, guilt, even pride is a low vibrating emotion. But courage is the first emotion that gives you power. So that makes me start thinking about the idea of fear versus faith, because they're both the same. They're just two sides of the same coin when you think about it. Because if you have fear of something that didn't happen, or you have faith in something that didn't happen, either way it didn't happen yet, but you just choose the direction you want to go in. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I know exactly what you're saying.
And so I love having people on this show who choose the side of the coin of faith and courage in themselves, man.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like a basketball player, man. You put a ball. If I put a ball in your hand right now, and you take a jump shot, whether it goes in or not, you're gonna want another shot. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And
because I can't play.
Right. but if you shoot once and you like, oh, okay, you're going to make adjustments in your mind. If you miss that shot, you're going to make adjustments in your mind about what you need to do to maybe make the shot the next time, but you're definitely going to want another shot automatically. Yeah. So when you start hitting shots out here, you know what I mean? And tweaking your approach, and you start hitting shots, You want more shots, man. And then you become...
It doesn't matter if you miss them.
Right. You become less afraid of missing them. You become excited at the opportunity to take the shot.
That's a... Mike out here.
You know what I'm saying?
Dropping the words, bro.
You want to take the shot. And that's what I strive to do.
Life is.
Yeah.
Let's get into what all the things you do, because I know you brought up basketball. I know you brought up being affirmed by speakers. I know a little bit about you, but I would love for you to talk about the things that have kind of moved your soul and shaped you, because this is a renaissance man we got here on here, man. This I don't think it's anything that you don't do. Like,
I do a lot.
How about we talk about the things that you don't do instead of what you do at this point? Yeah. But no, tell me some of the things that have shaped you or that you use to shape the world around you, man.
Yeah. Shaping me is I'm really into the animal kingdom. Okay. But I've done a lot. And so I've been a school teacher, a retired school teacher for 12, almost 13 years. Wow. I've been a basketball coach, men's AAU, girls varsity, high school. I've been an academic advisor. That's 3. I've been a professional barber.
Yo, okay. Didn't know that.
That's 4. Yeah, which is like being a counselor.
A healer and
all of that. I have been I'm an editor. I'm typeset, content, copyright, proofreading.
Oh, like when somebody writes a book, you can,
I'm the editor.
Okay, all right. You're up to 5.
Yeah. I'm an editor. I'm an analyst. I'm a linguist. I have a degree in speech.
That's what you hear. This man, I'm telling you, this man takes these words and just flips them.
I'm a cook.
Keep going.
And
he didn't even get to DJ, producer.
Yeah, I didn't even get to that.
Music. He didn't even touch music yet.
I ain't get to that. Part. I am a trained concert vocalist, which is why I might sound like butter here.
Are you gonna give us a note? Are you?
I mean, you can get that. I get you that. Let me see. What would I sing?
I feel like
I give you one. I give you one.
Surprise me.
I give you one.
All right, this is exclusive, y'all.
I used to visit all the very gay places, those come what may places, where one relaxes on the axis of the wheel of life to get the thrill of life from jazz and cocktails. The girls I knew had sad and sullen gray faces with distant gay traces. They used to be there, you can see where they've been washed away by too many through the days. 12 o'clock tales. Then you came along with your siren song that tempted me to madness. I thought for a while that your poignant smile was tinged with the sadness of a great love for me. Oh, yes, I was wrong. Again, I was wrong. Life is lonely again. And only last year, everything seemed so sure. But now life is awful again. A trough full of hearts would only be a bore. A week in Paris will ease the bite of it. All I care is to smile in spite of it. I'll forget you, I will, while yet you are still burning inside my brain. Romance is mush, stifling those who strive. I'll live the lush life in some small dive, and there I'll be while I rot with the rest of those whose lives are lonely too.
Yo, it's the butter for me. It's the zone. Yo, Mike, where did you go when you was singing that? Because you wasn't here.
That's Lush Life by Johnny Hartman. John Coltrane is on the accompaniment and the sax. And that song, I just tapped into the lyrics of the song. That song is about an alcoholic who is really tormented by this lush life that he's living, and things were so great and things are starting to fall apart, and he's in a bar with other people whose lives are lonely just like his. And yeah, so the key to tapping into and to interpreting those lyrics is you kind of have to go there. Whatever that means for you, you have to tap into that.
I saw that. No, bro, like I saw that, and it was very similar to the feeling that I had when you were DJing. It's similar to the feeling that I had as you were speaking about bird nests.
Check.
And that ability to just tap into so many different parts of you, bro. Like, how did you even like open up that veil? Because I talk about Bali here, right? The veil between the spiritual world and the physical world is so thin.
Right.
You manifest like this here, like like I literally was at the party. I said I'm gonna have him on my podcast. And you're on my podcast.
Boom.
Like it's nothing here.
Yeah. That's dope.
Is that how do you manifest, man? How are you manifesting this amazing life?
Oh man, I am. I'm conscious of my vibration, and I know that the importance of momentum is key. You know what I mean? So even when I am just idling, right? If my foot is not on the accelerator, chances are prior to that, I've built up so much speed that even when I take my foot off the accelerator, I'm still moving.
You coasted.
I'm still coasting. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I treat it. And, you know, that momentum is powerful because, like, for instance, this conversation that we're having today is only going to catapult me to a higher calibration, which is going to continue me into more great things, God willing, as we move into the rest of this day. You know what I mean?
Easily. And this is going to catapult me. I've got so many gems. I might be listening. This is one of the episodes I listened to 5, 6, 7 times.
Right on.
It's codes in your words. It's not just, you're not just, I hope y'all listen. He's not just talking. It is like codes in everything that this man is saying. And even in these tattoos, I know it's codes in these. Everyone has a purpose. Everything is intentional. And I for one, man, I am just honored again to have you here. So as we're wrapping it up, because I don't want to take up too much time. We're approaching the hour mark. I like to keep them under 60 minutes.
That's dope.
I want to kind of ask a last question, kind of fun, but you might have heard this before, been asked this before. But what if you got a dinner you can go to, 3 people dead or alive, who you inviting?
Who would I invite to the dinner?
You never been asked that before?
I have not.
Oh shit! Okay, well, here we go.
Who would I invite to the dinner? 3 people dead or alive?
3 people dead or alive.
Okay.
And y'all can just talk,
Okay.
vibe.
All right. Without thinking too much.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to invite Peter Tosh. Because I know that it's going to be some vegetables on the plate.
There we go.
And
are you vegan?
I used to be. I'm not vegan, no.
Okay.
I was vegan for like 15 years, but my diet is more than mostly plant-based, and I'm gonna want some vegetables at the dinner.
Okay, we got that.
So, and I know that I'm gonna feel the rider and the maroon in Peter Tosh. So the conversation that we will have with that Ital food is gonna be good for my spirit. So I would invite Peter Tosh. I would invite. Oh, this is a great question.
I saw it the other day. And I was
yeah.
like, nice.
I think I would invite. Whew. To a dinner though, because that's why
this is a dinner, right?
Right.
And it's like, I know you playing with the idea of other people, but you're like, who is my top 3?
Yeah, dead or alive, you say, right?
Dead or alive. It could be The Last Supper, but you know that was like 13.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of folks, right?
But I wanted to keep it to the 3.
John Coltrane.
Boom.
Because the conversation about transformation, I would love to have with Coltrane. And I know that I feel like the pace of that conversation and maybe the music that we may be listening to during that dinner may be
transport you to another.
You feel me?
dimension.
So I'm talking about transformation from straight ahead bebop to avant-garde with Ravi Shankar and things with Alice Coltrane and harp and things. His transformation from heroin to being straight edge, and so I would like to have Coltrane at that dinner for the conversation of transformation and the pace.
Okay, I love it.
And then number 3, I think I want Patti LaBelle.
Yo,
and the reason I want Patti LaBelle there, this is my Capricorn mind, right? The reason I want Patti LaBelle there is because Patti LaBelle could really cook.
Yes.
And I want the vegetables, but I want the motherfuckers to taste really good. And she makes crazy desserts. And she freed up. She gonna have a lot of wisdom, a lot of auntie mama jewels.
That auntie energy, that mama energy is needed.
Yeah, and the power. She'll be the most powerful person at that dinner.
Easily.
And I want the female balance, the divine masculine and female that she possesses. She's gonna give me some jewels from the music industry. And the food gonna be really good. So without thinking too hard, Peter Tosh, John Coltrane, Patti LaBelle.
Bro, I'm trying to come to that dinner. That's
lit.
You think about it, that's a dinner.
That's a dinner, nigga.
Cause Patti, don't sleep. Like Patti in the 70s, and like that lady Marmalade, like she was a game changer. Like Lady Gaga,
game changer, man.
Like all these tricks that you be seeing these young girls try to do,
game changer. And her
black woman in like 1970.
Yeah, and her sweet potato pies is good as shit.
All that.
So I want that.
brother, this was so amazing. Like this was like a destined conversation. I just want to say, man, where can people find you? Number one.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna just,
okay.
we're gonna start with there. And
You find me if you're in the social media realm. You can find me on Instagram. I'm probably most active there, although I have Twitter and Facebook profiles. I'm not active there, so you can hit me at Mike Flow Official. That's MIKEFLO_official. There is no W in Mike Flow. So MIKEFLO_official. Also visit MikeFlow.com. That's MIKEFLO.com. Currently, I got a gang of music on there. I got some merchandise for my Stay Dangerous trilogy of albums that I have, so you can get the Stay Dangerous merchandise on there. You can also see myself and my other band member. I'm one half of Welcome to the Limit. That's W2TL, which means Welcome to the Limit. And we are at welcometothelimit.com, but you can see us at Welcome, the number 2, the Limit at on Instagram. And yeah, and holla at me when you see me out here in these streets.
In these Bali streets,
you
the
feel
New
me?
York streets, the
all of that,
Chi-Town streets,
ATL, all that shit.
Brother, this was 10 times greater than I could have imagined.
Thanks for having me.
I feel like
man.
I'm gonna have to get you on a part 2 next before the year's over.
It's nothing, man.
Because there's so much more conversation to be had.
It ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Y'all, thank y'all so much for listening. Mike, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, sir.
And we'll catch you on the next one, brother.
Holla, power. Good shit, boy. Great job.